Well, let's go back to one of the stories that we took earlier that states that Somali money transfer companies moved more than $3.7 million in cash between suspected weapons traffickers in recent years, including to a Yemeni under U.S. sanctions for alleged militant links, as according to a report from Reuters. Now, we have joining us security expert Kach Ononuju. He joins us on The World Now to discuss this. It's good to see you, Kach, to discuss this. But let's go on to discuss this. Terrorism financing has been a key subject at international fora for some time now. So clearly, any country in armed conflict could be affected. What, in your view, makes Somalia a special case?
There's nothing special about Somalia. It's simply when the international organizations chose to start following the money trail. I believe this has been known for a very long time. It's simply, if you follow the money, if this particular investigation had been initiated long before now, it will have been discovered that the monies that are being given, not just by anybody, money that are being given by the United Nations as aid money suddenly ends up in the hands of those who now use it to purchase weapons. So we need to do a proper investigation. The discovery is one thing, there needs to be an interrogation.
But illicit financial flows involving Africa runs into billions of dollars, just like you said, and many times no one even knows for sure where some of these monies end up. What are the institutional failures, that can be addressed to put an end to this?
Now that is the word, institutional failures. Institutional failures because a lot of this money comes from international organizations, including the United Nations and other aid donors. Well, don't also forget that in Somalia, you have internal disagreements. So people on different sides of these disagreements have linked to these terrorist organizations. The terrorist organizations simply behave like the military wing of the different political factions. Now that we have now put a tracer on the money, we have now found out that these monies end up where guns and other weapons are procured from. What I need to look at is an interrogation of who are these recipients of this money that, despite the money is routed to them, it ends up in the hands of those that use them to buy weapons. That interrogation needs right now to be pursued.
But we've seen that the European Commission, has come up with what some critics would say a controversial blacklist of some countries that do not support the fight against money laundering or terrorist financing. But some would say up to this point that blacklisting may not be an entirely new strategy. What stricter action can be taken to effectively nip this in the bud?
Blacklisting is a good strategy. Blacklisted because there are countries who use their sovereign advantages to actually support these particular issues. There are people who are countries that do have interest in the crisis in Somalia. So blacklisting does matter. It's not just a blacklist, you blacklist and you place sanctions. Sanction has worked for a very long time. Sanctions brought Iran to negotiate with the international community. So I believe not just to blacklist the people, but sanction them. So I believe there should be a proper interrogation and punishment, if possible, of those who have been behind this funding of the terrorism. There is no terrorism can thrive in Somalia if it does not have some heavy backers. So we are now seeing these heavy backers, who are the people who either through their negligence or their active connivance has made this particular offense possible. There has to be sanctions. If there are no sanctions, then blacklisting don't mean nothing. So I believe whatever it is that was done in the case of Iran, to force Iran to come to the table, should also be done to those people who have been aiding the terrorism in the Horn of Africa.
Security expert Kach Ononuju, thank you so much for joining us on The World Now.
Thank you for having me.